When you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, it all starts with defense. This was the #1 defense in the league last year by almost any measure. #1 total defense, #1 passing defense, #1 scoring defense, a dominating unit that helped the Steelers to a 12-4 regular season record and a berth in the postseason. Unfortunately, when they reached the playoffs, they ran into a buzzsaw in the form of one Tim Tebow. Tebow lit up the defense through the air, ran the ball effectively. Denver pulled off a huge upset win against Pittsburgh in a game that's already infamous. It was really interesting, the aftermath of that game, because you had a lot of experts, because, Tebow is a polarizing figure. There are people on both sides, and you had people throughout Denver's run of success last year still saying, this guy can't play, this guy can't play. And when, once and for all, you can't dispute in the playoffs against the #1 defense in the league, when you have a game like that, you can no longer say things like, should not be an NFL quarterback, which many guys had been saying. So in the aftermath of that game, instead of admit they were wrong about that, or they might be wrong about that, they went to blaming the Steelers' defense, saying Steelers' defense was old, getting over the hill. Maybe Dick LeBeau forgot how to coach defense, criticizing his game plan in that game, saying they left the defense susceptible to getting beat downfield, which obviously happened several times, including the game-winning touchdown pass to Demaryius Thomas. Well, we'll see about that this year. Because the Steelers, there's no infusion of youth on that defense, no new faces really. These are the same old guys back again, Dick LeBeau back again to coach the defense. We'll see if indeed they're over the hill and Dick LeBeau's forgot how to coach defense. My guess is this is going to be the same dominating unit they have been for the last several years. They're going to slug it out once again with Baltimore for first place in the AFC North. Obviously their offense, not too shabby either. 12th in the NFL last year, total offense. Ben Roethlisberger, one of the 6'8" best quarterbacks in the league. Mike Tomlin, their coach, one of the very best coaches in the league. But what's interesting about the Steelers, because they're such a popular team, not necessarily a great team to back. From a bettor's perspective, Steelers not one of my favorite teams. Tomlin, for example, is 60-28 overall since he's been a head coach at Pittsburgh, yet he's only 44-43-1 against the spread, almost dead 500 against the spread. Last year, for example, if you include the playoffs, Steelers were 12-5 overall, but 7-10 against the spread. As Steelers have legions of fans, anybody who knows anything about NFL football respects the Steelers, so you're not going to sneak up on anybody. You're not going to find great value with the Steelers. Now, there is one place where I do think there's nice value in the Steelers, and that is Super Bowl odds. Now, they're 14-1 in Vegas, which isn't bad, but on BETDAQ right now, they can be had at 22-1. 22-1 of the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the Super Bowl. That's a bet worth making, in my opinion.